Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, back at it again with another topic that I actually kinda like. What are your unpopular D&D opinions? Part 3. Now I'm interested in reading some hot takes and unpopular opinions, so if you guys and girls want to put some down in the comments below and say, hey Bri, read this, hey, you know what? I might just do it. Now we have someone on the MrRipper crew that actually would like to say that theirs is that they don't really like listening to other people play D&D because they think it's boring. Same with playing anything ranged, they want their character to be in danger. Me? I kind of laughed when I read that because I kind of like listening to people play D&D. Penny Arcade was cool, and I kind of always wanted to play a ranger, so conflict of opinion there. Giant creatures are too underpowered. In real life, a titanic monster can easily defeat anything smaller than it if a hit connects. I want huge and gargantuan creatures' attacks to be considered AoE attacks to fuel the idea that they can fell groups and armies. Kind of a neat concept to think of a gargantuan creature stomping so hard they create an earthquake. I really like that idea. As the DM, you have full permission to eat the player's die if they lose track of their spell slot. That's gonna be one hell of a dental bill for some tables. You don't have to kill a PC for them to play a new character. If a player wants to play a new character, retire their old character with a happy ending and introduce a new character. If they want to revisit that character, they're still around. Expanding on this, however, let people retrain. Obviously, don't let the Hexblade Warlock switch instantly to a Master Druid. But if the champion fighter goes, "This sucks, I should have been a Battle Master," or the Warlock doesn't like the goo and wants to forge a new pact with a devil, let them. Player not happy with the feat they picked, let them pick another one. Player unhappy with the spell they chose, let them replace it. As long as they don't flip-flop constantly in every session, it almost never is an actual issue. This game is about enjoyment. If the players aren't having a good time, then change it. You could even make it part of the story. This last part is very true. In one of the games DM'd by one of our crew here, a player realized that the class they weren't playing didn't actually play the way they felt it would work best for the character. Plus, their character's personality was grating on everyone. Made sense with the backstory, but no one wanted to actually talk to them to find out because they were all tired of him constantly being high. His character was a spores druid who smoked shrooms to get over the pain of losing his lover. So they had that player's character die due to their constant drug use, and being revived as another class, pledging to serve as a cleric of the god who revived them. Instantly changed his character's interactions with the party, and they stopped disliking his character, and he started having more fun. It was all a win all around. Don't know if this is unpopular for my fellow DMs, but it might be for some players. Preparation is not only the DM's job. You want a fast-moving combat and tense moments? Then know what your spells and abilities do before the session. Or at least prepare yourself for your turn during the other player's turns. Don't expect me to know all 500 D&D spells from the top of my head when you can't even keep track of your 5 signature spells while I also build encounters, set up battle maps, build out the world, write quests, integrate all the party's backstories into the world, and oh yes, play and memorize all of the NPC enemies, including their mannerisms, vocalizations, spells, and abilities. In my opinion, this shouldn't be an unpopular opinion because that's just courtesy in a game that you play together. But far too often I see players who don't do anything but show up to the sessions. I don't like that bards are typecast as sex machines. I played a half-orc bard, War Drums, and found it awkward that the other players and DM would assume I should be flirting. Stop sexualizing bards. If you are a player and you don't vibe check the party dynamic and campaign setting before making your super niche character, it's your own fault when you don't have fun. Yeah, I'm sure you're ultra killy martial arts master barbarian with a soundtrack by Mick Gordon is great. But if you didn't confirm anything, you've got no leg to stand on when you go into a political skullduggery campaign as a part of sneaky rogues and bards. However, if you're a GM and you don't give your players a rough idea of what the campaign is going to entail, you can't come crying to Reddit when your players don't make characters that mesh into your story. If you want to run an under-the-sea combat adventure, you need to clue your players in before they all decide to build Aarakocra wizards. D&D parties should communicate these basic things, and GMs should be warning players as much as those players are also running ideas past each other. Yeah, number one, communication is a very, very big rule. Always talk to your players, and DMs, be as transparent as possible. Yes, but isn't always warranted. In fact, no but isn't even always warranted. Sometimes the answer is and should be just a flat no. I think we here at the Ripper Crew can all just say a fucking men to that. It's cool to be that DM who gives the players what they want, but it's your game too, and sometimes giving them what they want can break the game, which makes it less fun for you and for the other players. You gotta learn that skill of being able to put a foot down and just saying, I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. The worst thing Critical Role and Dimension 20 did for the game was make people think that 6 to 8 players at a table is fine and normal. 5 at max, unless you have players who are okay with waiting upwards of 20 minutes for their turn to roll around in combat, and fine with doing one thing outside of combat per 4-hour session. I agree that 4 to 5 player range is the sweet spot actually. 6 is okay if you know the group well and they mesh. More than that and it gets unwieldy really fast. If you're going to be playing in a long campaign, don't make a joke or a gag character. As a DM, I feel almost insulted when people want to make a whole character just for some joke or gimmick. I put time into the setting to make it believable and fun, and I don't want Jake from State Farm, the Fey Warlock trying to sell every monster they see insurance. I think it's fine for one-shots or shorter campaigns, but I wouldn't take this character into Curse of Strahd. The trick is to make a serious character with a hidden joke or two. You wait years IRL playing the campaign until the perfect moment comes to reveal the joke, at which point everyone at the table groans and throws things at you. That said, it's important to realize that joke characters are different from comedic relief characters. Those can be very important for alleviating the tension of a campaign and keeping things fresh, while still being completely serious and deep characters. So I actually did this in the game my DM is currently running. I made an Urchin Hexblade Warlock and his name was Jingel, half-elf. And he was secretly mad at his dad and met his patron while breaking into his dad's house. The only thing I wanted from the campaign is to one day be able to kidnap a high elf with the party, and while they're asking him his name, say, I know his name. It's John Jacob Jingelheimer Schmidt. When the party inevitably asked, wait, how do you know? I would respond, because his name is my name too. Jesus fucking Christ. I knew there was a build-up, and I fell for this one too. It took 2 damn years of playing for that scene to play out, and they learned my full name. It was worth it. Hey, not all joke characters are bad. One of our crew here played in a campaign with a guy whose character's name was Allstate, who had a brother named Jake who lived on the state farm. He was actually a serious wizard, he just thought the name was hilarious. Also, I have that stupid song stuck in my head now, so thanks for that. Yeah, thank you for that one. Thank you a lot. Rules lawyers are more than welcome at my table, as long as they understand that the DM decides whether they go with the rules or not. Someone that knows the rules well can be incredibly helpful when solving a confusing scenario. It's astounding how many people turn to calling someone a rules lawyer when they get called out for not using a feature properly because you are basically being called out for cheating. Your DM is not a teacher you don't want to remind of the homework they gave you. I call this the rules librarian. Personally, I like rules scholar myself. My fellow players really hated it when I reminded the DM that the vampire should be regenerating health. I've got a magic item for this called the Teacher's Pet. That is technically for the whole party. If the DM slips up and you lawyer them and it goes against the well-being of the PCs, the player gets advantage or possibly a magic item ASAP. It's a lot more fun when a player yells, "I invoke the teacher's pet!" It's also a classroom gerbil. Yay! Rules lawyer used to mean someone who knew the rules and used that to argue whichever interpretation helps them the most. They cleverly misinterpret them for their benefit. That's where the lawyer part comes from. How it just turned into a synonym for a fucking nerd who reads the books in the D&D community is pretty weird. Agreed. It's the twisted interpretations and selective enforcement of rules, not just knowing the rules and bringing them up in good faith. We had a rules lawyer at my old table. He went on vacation for a few weeks and one of the other players tried to argue rules with the DM. Not in a hostile way, but just trying to convince him of something. About 30 seconds of getting nowhere, he huffs and says, "You know, you're lucky my lawyer isn't here." The whole table and this narrator actually fell out laughing. Instead of interpreting the description on abilities and spells, read the book. Oh wait, Chill Touch doesn't deal cold damage in melee? What do you mean I don't need to hide to use sneak attack? To be fair, Chill Touch is named absolutely idiotically. This narrator agrees. I touched the goblin and now he's chill. Goblin. Oh hey, what's up guys? Adventurers, huh? That's rad, man. Dig your breastplate. Mine is old and not so perky. Just kidding around. I'm Merv, by the way. Honestly, they should have just bit the bullet a long time ago and changed the name. It made only slightly more sense in the original version, purely because it was an actual touch attack. Something like Grasp of the Grave would make more sense. An undead hand that latches onto the touch and does necrotic damage. Ooh, don't give me promises that you don't want to keep, buddy boy, because that's a beautiful idea. I think players should understand their own character sheets. After DMing for many years and running many sessions, sometimes I wonder if players understand anything. You and me both, my friend. You and me both, though, can't lie, sometimes I kind of blank out, space out, and I'm a little bit derpy, so I don't know. Hey everyone, Brian Von VA here, checking in after the vid as per usual. Leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell. Do you know why you ring that bell? Well, unpopular opinion, YouTube's algorithm and ability to notify you sucks. So ringing the bell kinda helps because you get a push notification. It'll tell you when we post a video or in case we go live. Though, if we are gonna go live, we're gonna do it on Twitch. And if you want to check out anything that's like a 30 to 60 second clip, do so on TikTok. We don't use either of those too often, but come check us out either way. Links are in the description below. And if you have a story to submit to us, you can do so on our subreddit r/MrRipper. Though if we ask you to comment, you're always welcome to leave a comment. And if you say hi to one of us in the comments below, we're always going to say hi back. Or, well, if we have time to. Anyway, I kind of get a little bit busy. I'm sorry. But that being said, my name is Brian Von VA. Come check me out on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. I stream on Twitch, and I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. Well, haven't in a while, but still, it's there, so come say hi. Now, I always try to end on a positive note. Today, I just want to say one thing. Progress is not straightforward. You may be going a different path than somebody else in order to reach the same destination, which is growth, potential, and character development in real life and in games. But it's still your path. No one can tell you how you're going to get to the destination, only that when you get there, things will be better. Better for you because you're the one that made the choices to get there. And yeah, sometimes it's really hard to make that progress, and believe you me, it might take you years or even decades to get over certain events in your life or to make progress with certain things, but that's okay. As long as you're willing to continue going forward, do it. So unpopular opinion, yeah, shit takes time. Don't let a single goddamn soul, society, nothing, fuck them all. You do you. You do you. Don't let them define you. You do what you do is right. All the love, everybody. I'll see you later. Please stay safe, be happy, healthy, and bye for now.